Well, to me, the biggest takeaway from the show is the breadth and depth of the Dell Technologies Agentic AI build out. It's just mind blowing. For me, one of the big blockbusters is the Dell desk side Agentic AI platform, starting with the little cube sized GB10 that provides 87% reduced spend versus public cloud for running, building, and fine tuning Agentic AI solutions. Dell says the break even versus public cloud APIs is just 3 months. So you start with the GB10, and the Dell architecture and product line scales up to the Dell Precision GB300 tower systems, all the way to the NVL 72 supercomputer with 72 NVIDIA GPUs in a box. There was a new PowerStore Elite storage platform, the 18th generation of Dell PowerEdge servers, delivering up to 70% performance. OpenAI and Dell bringing Codex to Dell AI Factory and hybrid environments. Again, what you see there's this big move to bringing AI workloads, particularly agentic AI workloads, on-prem. So you've got to give it to Dell, Michael Dell, Jeff Clark, the whole team for just an amazing array of technology that's really going to propel the agentic AI revolution.
It's really interesting because there is a lot of shift to on-prem that we're seeing right now, even in Asia. What's interesting is there's a lot of sovereign demand right now in this region, especially with AI. That on-prem capabilities that Dell is providing right now is definitely what a lot of companies here are looking at. The Google Distributed Cloud announcement, that's one thing that's really going to be a game changer, because that's what companies want now. They want that on-prem capability. Like Michael said, the problem is not the cloud. The problem is more on having your data on the cloud and how you can manage the data, especially with the number of AI use cases and agentic AI workloads that you're hoping to run. So that on-prem capabilities which Dell is giving right now with NVIDIA as well, it's going to be a game changer everywhere.
The big takeaway there was Jensen talking about we're truly entering an era of useful AI. He said NVIDIA and Dell's demand is now utterly parabolic. Think about that. It's just incredible how fast and how rapid this agentic AI revolution is taking hold. Jensen said that a software job that used to take 1 month for a whole team to complete now takes a week. He said the amount of computation necessary to run that has grown 100x to 1,000x because of the demand that's taking place for these agentic AI platforms. Michael Dell, for his part, said the AI revolution with agentic AI has taken productivity gains that were 20 to 30% and driven them to an almost unimaginable 20 to 30 times productivity gains.
Jensen and Dell have a very good relationship. They've been working together for the longest time, and it just shows how they understand each other and they're supporting each other in meeting that compute demand that's required right now. It's now how can they deliver it, and Dell is meeting that requirement with what they're doing there.
Dell is really pushed the envelope and really took the Dell AI Factory with NVIDIA to another level. I mean, the breadth and depth of how they are providing all the NVIDIA capabilities in a standard computing environment, and the full architecture from the client all the way to the supercomputer is really unique. The blockbuster here was Michael Dell saying the accelerated demand for agentic AI is extending the timeline for the supply chain crisis into 2028. Michael said basically that if it had not been for the agentic AI movement, we probably would have seen better demand-supply equilibrium in the second half of the year. That's out the window. Michael says it's going to go into 2028. But talking to partners at the show, some partners think this is going to go to 2030. So it's something that's going to be here for a long time. Michael said they're gaining share as a result of the Dell supply chain superiority. Partners tell us that they are definitely doubling down on Dell and driving long-term account planning to make sure they have supply, and it's definitely creating channel momentum for Dell.
It is a global problem right now, and everybody knows that. But in terms of Dell's comments on this, they seem very confident, and they claim that they have the best supply chain plans in the world. They're top in all their deliveries and all that. But what's interesting is the partners don't really see that yet. They are they are concerned that there might be some delays and all that, but they are operating as good as they can right now. They are preparing for the worst, but they're also hoping for the best. Overall, the entire sentiment on the supply chain is it's not going to solve overnight. It's not going to solve by 2028. It's going to take some time. But having said that, orders are still going. There's no slowdown in AI innovation and use cases being developed by companies here. Partners are still innovating. They're still launching and signing deals because they know that if they don't do it now, it will only make it even longer. So they're just getting as much as they can done.
We talked to DXC and Ahead, and they're both definitely seeing a supply chain advantage with Dell. They're doubling down on Dell. They see agentic AI creating more opportunity for them to get closer to Dell, and that they see a big advantage working with Dell in the midst of this supply chain crisis. We talked this morning with Computer Center North America President Justin Griffin, and Justin was talking also about doubling down on Dell. They're seeing double-digit growth and doubling down on the relationship with Dell, seeing the growth, and they definitely see the supply chain advantage with Dell. So Dell definitely has channel momentum here with the supply chain crisis, and I think they're going to really drive that hard to try and grab channel share here. The big message from partners is customers are facing so much pressure from the boardroom to get into the agentic AI game that they aren't being put off by the price increases. So it's an incredible story.
I was just speaking to some partners at the Solutions Expo, and I was seeing some demos on what they're doing in smart cities and all that. It's very interesting because a lot of the, Asia being like seeing an increase of data center investments and all that. So they are confident. Dell is confident that they are capable of providing the infrastructure for the data centers, and because of that, partners are now increasing interest from customers in running more AI agentic cases as well. And this is why they feel that the price, yes, although in Asia the price is still a concern, but it's not slowing them down. So supply chain or price is not slowing down. It's all about innovation. They all want to be part of it, and looking at what's happening right here, the customers here as well, they're just looking at the next step. Right now, frontier AI is the next big thing. They're already talking about that. They're seeing how they can start doing that right now, because it's only going to get more exciting basically going forward, and it's mind-blowing looking at how things are falling in right now.